right. You ready?
I guess so.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Enough.
You can go home.
Okay. Hey,
Hey.
how are you?
Well, this is episode 3
Yeah, this is
of...
Mouthwords.
That's right. Again.
Again.
He's
Awesome.
killing it with these Mouthwords answers. Anyway.
Thank you. Also, I'm Austin.
And I'm Abby.
This is Mouthwords.
Again, it's Mouthwords. Cool. We're all on the same page now. And if we're not, then pay better attention.
Yeah. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for listening. Remember, keep sharing, keep following, liking, subscribing. Get the name out there. Get the word out there. It's Mouthwords.
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 All right, Austin, let's get into it. What kind of stuff you got going on? Any updates? Anything cool?
I got some updates. First one, cat's in the house, right? Cat's been vaccinated. Cat's named Daisy. Little kitten.
That's a cute one.
Daisy is officially part of the booth resident, and she's getting used to the house. My mom's taking care of Daisy, and she's been slowly trying to introduce her and our other cat. And we're going to see how that goes. He is 15 again. Reminder, Bobo's doing his thing. Yeah, cats. That's it. There's still a bunch outside. There's still raccoons. There's deer. There's all sorts of wildlife chilling at the booth residence.
Do you think they saw the cats get in and they were like,
No,
it's time to infiltrate? And the cats are just the Trojan horse. They're like, invade!
They're going to open, like the kitten's going to open the door and like let them all in, essentially.
Yeah. But she's bringing the toys to the door, you said.
Well, that's Bobo's.
Oh, that's
So
even cuter.
The older cat has been bringing little mice to the door and like sneaking them.
Real mice? Or...
No, like little fake mice. And he's been like leaving the little toy mice outside the door where the kitten is. Mm-hmm. But like no one has seen him do it, so he's been doing it in the middle of the night, so it's very cute.
Very sneaky.
He's very
sneaky. Well, that's cute.
Yeah.
They have like their own little utopia there.
They do. They have their own living room. They have a whole cat condo thing. It's
Are they paying
6
rent?
feet. They might be paying rent. I don't know.
They're not. I don't think they are. They're cats. The only fun update I really have is that I got a change in my meds, and I have been on. I made a list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different medications in the last like 15 to 17 years.
That's a lot.
It's a journey.
Yeah. Was it a lot of like trial and error with the different medications?
It's all trial and error, Austin.
Yeah.
I started from the age I was 9. I was taking medication as a child, and that was during like the 90s Ritalin craze. Or not even Ritalin, the uppers craze. So I started on Ritalin, then I went to Wellbutrin, then I went to Prozac, then I went to Risperdal, and I had that in addition, and then I had Zoloft, then Trileptal. This is all mostly chronologically. Latuda, Lamictal, Klonopin, more Trileptal, Effexor, Rexulti, Abilify, and now finally lithium. And now we are adding in another, not Vyvanse, but something similar to it. So
okay.
Maybe it will help with my ADHD, which will be super exciting. Could help with the amount of depression that I have as well, apparently. So, which is a lot. It's a lot.
Okay. Well, I hope that works and helps.
See, here's the thing, though, because there are side effects, right? And so up until like the last few years of my life, I have been rejecting specific kinds of medication because I was terrified of the side effects, whether they included like having to get blood labs done regularly, or they had like weight gain or some sort of rash or something scary. And then recently I just had to like surrender to it and be like, fine, I'll try the lithium, even though it's life threatening. And I've been on it for a little bit now. And so I've learned that it's not as scary as I thought. So with like this new one, it's a different kind of scary because one of the symptoms or uses, I guess, byproducts, whatever, is weight loss. So like I have to be super careful with myself and being honest with myself and my psychiatrist because I'm still in recovery from my eating disorder. I could subconsciously decide that I love that idea and then have this medication work and then lose the medication because I'm not keeping up with my my hunger cues or just my treatment in general. And so it's been like almost 5 years, I think, now since I started treatment for my eating disorder. So it still is a very slow climb.
Yeah.
So
you've definitely come a long way, and I am proud of you.
Thank you.
Where you are.
I've been doing this long enough now in recovery to know how to cope and self-regulate and what to do in certain triggering instances. And there is a little bit of truth to the fact that like it is a little appealing that that could be a byproduct of this. But I also know the logical part of me, the disordered voice is also saying, but you do have to be honest if something comes up with it. I've learned enough in the last 5+ years of therapy for this specific thing to learn, like take it into the real world. And that's what I feel like I'm trying to do here. And that's what I said to her. She was my psychiatrist, who's the f***ing bomb, by the way. I have the best psychiatrist in the world. She's the one who got me into recovery. She's into treatment. She's the one who like told me straight up, like, here, like this is what's going to happen to you if you don't do this. And I cried very, very hard that day. And then I started treatment. She's trying to make sure with me that I understood that if this was a good thing for me depression-wise, but not eating disorder-wise, that I would be comfortable with her telling me that.
Okay.
Which is a whole nother practice of recovery in general, because you have to surrender yourself. If you have ever dealt with an addiction or have known someone with an addiction, eating disorders are creepily similar behavior-wise to people with addictions. So that being said, that is the kind of way that I have to be honest with myself and with her enough to trust myself and to trust her that we can find another solution that will not cross the boundaries of my recovery so far.
Okay. Say that does happen, and she does have to tell you that.
Yeah.
Are you going to be okay with...
Yeah, I would be fine with it. I told her, like, she's the person I trust the most. Again, she's the person who got me into treatment. She was right about that. She's been right about literally everything so far. That I have no one else to trust but her. She is my guiding light.
Yeah.
So that's what I told her. And like, if she's gonna do that, then maybe I'll be pissed. Maybe my eating disorder demon will be angry, but I would be thankful that she's telling me what I need to hear instead of what I want to hear.
Okay.
Because that means that it's worth all that money I'm shelling out, which is a lot. Therapy costs a lot, you guys.
Yeah. You also don't want...
you didn't know.
You don't want someone just telling you what you want to hear. That's not helping you, so...
Right.
I understand that.
Right.
And it was big for both of you in that moment.
It was.
There you go. And if you have a bunch of different medications, try to go through the trial and error, and eventually you can get to that medication.
Medication is not for everybody. I had to fight myself for a while to believe in medication again after a number of years, but there are some people who, for them, medication is not the way. So.
Yes. If yeah, if you're dealing with any addiction issues or anything like that, I can understand coming from that point of view, not wanting to take certain medications.
Yeah, that's one reason. There could be many reasons, just in general, why people don't like the idea of something medicinal for the rest of their life in that way, and that's how I used to feel as well. It's not snowing anymore, in case anyone is wondering.
Yeah, went back to gray rain.
Oh, I lied. It totally is. Oh my god.
It's back. The snow is back.
It's snowing and it's raining. Both.
And now a moment for a break.
Oh, we just want to say we do not yet have any sponsors, so we are looking for possible people, companies, businesses, lizards. So please give us a shout if you are interested in having your business on our podcast as an ad.
And you can email us at mouthwordspodcast@gmail.com. And welcome back from that break.
We're back.
Fair enough. We're back.
We were talking during dinner
Mm-hmm.
about how we have, as most people like us do, have some crazy Tinder stories.
Yeah.
And some things even our friends have. We've all heard an insane Tinder story. And the anniversary of mine came up recently, so it's been heavy on my brain because it's such a fond memory of mine. So we're just going to get into that, right?
Yeah.
Ready to get into some Tinder, some dirty dating. Dirty dating.
Dating dirty. Dirty dating.
Like, they're not... I gotta say, I'm not on... I don't think I'm on any... If I'm on any, it's Hinge, but I haven't been using it.
Oh.
What about you?
I'm not on any.
I know a lot of people who have taken a break from, like, the weird ones like Tinder and whatever else there is. Any trigger warnings necessary for your story?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing a trigger warning for sexual harassment here.
So, my friend, I'm not going to say his name.
We'll bleep it out if you do.
Okay. Yeah. So, this was 2013, and he was using Tinder at the time, and he had met this girl on Tinder, and she was older than him, and this was like a few years older than him, and she was clearly like out of high school, but he was still in high school, and I was like younger than him. So I was like, oh, okay, like this is cool. And he was telling our friend group that like he was talking to this girl and they wanted to hang out and stuff, and they ended up hanging out. And he went to her house, and it wasn't in the best area. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say the area, but it's near where I live. If anybody knows, then you know. And he went to her house, and first off, he walks in, and the shades are completely blocked. Like, the windows are blocked, basically. And she was just sitting on the couch with nothing. There was nothing going on. Like, it was just quiet. And she said, like, hi, hugged him, and then said, oh, go sit on the couch. And forced him to sit on the couch. And then was like, okay, take off your clothes. And, like, made him undress. And then took his clothes and, like, put it aside. And then basically was like, get the fuck out. Like, basically kicked him out of the house and was like, that's when he left. And when he left, he noticed a car down the street, like, about to pull up. And he was about to get robbed. So he sprinted to his car and basically left without his clothes.
Wait, so she told him to get out because she knew he was about to get robbed?
No. She was it was like a setup.
And he got out in time?
And he got out.
So how did he...
He just...
Wait, let's go back.
Okay.
He's naked. She
He's
knows
in
these guys
underwear.
are coming.
He's in his underwear.
And, yeah.
He runs out, gets in his car.
Why does he run out and get in his car?
Because she just kicked him out and locked the door.
Oh, that's how they're robbing him.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He had, so he used to put his keys under his seat.
Right.
And he had a code on the side. So he would get into his car, and he just left without his pants, his shirt, his shoes. My friend left from that place, and went home, and then the next day we all were hanging out playing hockey, and he happened to just like casually throw it out and be like, oh yeah, remember that girl I was talking to? Well, I ended up meeting her, and then like told us what happened, and like It was wild. He
Damn.
said there was more like foreplay before he got undressed, obviously. So like, because we were like, why would you just get undressed and then sit on that couch? Like, that's so ridiculous. And he was like, oh no, like she was like we were getting into it type thing. So I was like, oh, okay.
She was playing her part.
Yeah, definitely. And that's scary. So,
Man, so easy. Just kidding. That shouldn't happen to anyone. And I'm very sorry that your friend had to go through that.
yeah, I agree.
They're scary.
Yeah, it was very scary. And that was his Tinder experience. And I don't think he went on dating apps after.
Yeah, that would definitely leave me with a bad taste in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
I'm glad he's okay.
Me too.
Yeah. All right,
Well, my story's a little bit different.
I'd like to hear this.
It's a little bit more of an adventure than a story.
Okay.
Okay, we find ourselves, the year is 2016, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right.
2017. The year is 2017.
Good year.
Okay, so the year was 2017. I'm gonna say it this time.
Okay.
The year was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the place was here. Not really. The place was in this general area in Rhode Island, but actually it starts in Rhode Island and we head to Massachusetts. So my very good friend at the time, she messaged me one day and she said she wanted to go meet this guy that she met on Tinder. He was in Boston, and asked if I would go with her and be her wing woman and make sure she stays alive, which I was super cool with doing.
Super nice of you too.
Thank you. She was very grateful. So one thing she said though, she was like, "It's kind of weird. You also matched with this guy, but he said that you guys never ended up really talking." And she told me the name. We're gonna call him X. So I matched with X. It was true, and yeah, I really wasn't into him, so I was totally fine with it. Really, no problem. So the goal was for her and I to drive into Boston, go to like a house party. He was like a DJ or whatever, you know. It was super hipster.
Okay.
And like does like house music and shit. And so he had a show to take her to, and so that was the goal, was to get there. I think by like 10 o'clock. Got into his apartment. He was very welcoming, very kind, and he's like, "Glad that you can make it as well, Abby." Whatever. Introduced us to his two roommates who were very kind as well, and like practicing for whatever show they had coming up.
Very cool.
So we went to this guy's kitchen for a while and pretty much pre-gamed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just sat at this table, the three of us, and he was feeding us liquor and like shots, and it was clear at one point to me that like it was going quickly, but the two of them were hitting it the off. It was great. Like I was super excited for her, but at the same time, good. I was really, really bored. So I sat and I got my phone with one of our mutual friends between her and I, so I could like tell him where we were and like tell him how bored I was and how stupid it was to be a third wheel, but also that I was glad that she was doing it and having a good time. Yeah. And like they were really hitting it off, like in a way that I was like, okay, this is getting awkward for me to even be here, but I'm still gonna stay here. I'm still gonna stay here.
Okay.
So, and the story has gotten a little foggier over the months and years, but this is as detailed as I can remember without keeping it too much of a long story.
Okay.
But it does deserve the details. At one point, X looked at me and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Abby. We're like leaving you out. Like, what do you think about this and this?" And I gave him some of my opinions on what he asked me about. At the time, it had been about like, I think it was about like kink play or BDSM or something.
Oh, okay.
So I told him what I thought about whatever the question was, and I honestly do not remember specifically what it is. It's really not relevant. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." He like really liked the response, and I was like, "Okay, at least like I'm being included now." And so then like the drinks kept coming, and I had a drink max. I never loved drinking to begin with, and I was never super into using it for the wrong reasons, which I usually did. So I tried not to use it at all, which is why I don't drink anymore. But and I also needed to protect her. So if she wanted to get drunk, I had to be there and make sure that she was okay. So
which is very smart.
yeah, I mean,
I'll say.
it's the life.
Yeah.
So we kept doing our thing and just talking, and like I'm trying to remember the order of events here because this is where it just gets like it just escalates. Like you don't okay. So I kept my eye on the time, and I'm like, all right. It's like 6:00 now. Like, we're going to go get food and then we're going to go straight to the show. And so we were all trying to figure out what we wanted to eat. And while we were trying to figure out what to eat, the two of us had been sitting like this. And he, for some reason, I can't remember, he came and sat in the middle of us.
Okay.
And he put his hand on my leg.
Oh.
And was like, oh God, that was her name. We're going to have to bleep that out.
All right. Yeah.
And my friend was like, don't do that. Why are you touching her? Stop touching her, you jerk. Like, she's getting protective of me. And I was just like frozen, like, I'm not sure what's happening. So he moved it. Okay. Yeah. And then we kept talking, and then he put it on the small of my back so she couldn't see. And I was like, bro, I like did one of these. Yeah. I was like, you're here for her. This is weird. But I like tried to keep my cool and just be like, let her judge how she feels about this. Yeah. At that point, we were like, all right, we're just hungry. We want to get the food. Let's just get the out of here. But she has to go to the bathroom first. Okay. So she went to the bathroom, which I immediately felt terrible. As soon as she won, I was like, whoops, this is a bad idea. And it was. So I was still sitting down, and he came back and stayed sitting next to me. And he like put his mouth on me completely, and I don't remember what he had said. It was something stupid about Providence and where I live. Like, give me a reason to come visit, or some weird shit like that. And anyway, some weird shit like that. Okay. So he put his fucking mouth on me, and I pushed him away, physically pushed him away, and I said, "I'm here to be with my friend. You're being creepy. Please stop." And so at that point, he just stopped and got. At that point, he stopped, and my friend came out of the bathroom. We were getting ready to walk out the door when I was trying to mouth to her what had happened. Like, he just kissed me, kind of thing. She figured it out. She was great at reading lips. Yeah. And she was like, you kissed her. I can't believe it. Like, all I had to do was tell her what was happening, and she would take care of it. And that's why we made a great balance of friends. We walked to go get dinner at this very small Mexican food place. Had a great quesadilla, but the whole time she was yelling at him for walking too closely behind me.
Oh my God.
It was creepy. And they were just fighting at this point. Like an old couple. Like, you stay away from her. Like, she had been through a lot. And so I didn't mind her being guard dog for me because I was the same way for her. And but yeah, he was being pretty close. And so anyway, we went, we picked up the food, and we walked back to his apartment. And at this point, it's getting late, and I'm like, okay, well, we need to get going, or else we're never going to make it to this place. And so he's like, we're going to take a shortcut. Okay. And my friend and I look at each other like just instantly, and he's pointing to an open, poorly, if at all lit park. This is in the pitch dark, in the wintertime. And she and I just we locked eyes and just kind of understood the situation that was happening. And we said to him, if you try to touch either one of us or try anything at all at any point, the two of us together can take you and we will you up. And he was like, all right, it's cool. I'm not doing anything. We're just going to the park. You can go way behind me if you want. And we were like, okay, so just stay the away from us. That's where we are at this point. Holy we haven't gotten to the show yet. He's kissed me. She's getting angry. And now he's leading us through a very scary park at nighttime. Wow. So X gets us back. We're alive. We eat our dinner. It is tasty, but he keeps trying to get us drinking, or keeps trying to get us to have more Jack Daniels or whatever it was we were drinking. And I had stopped at that point. Yeah. So we were both kind of like, the jig is up, we had smoked a joint earlier, and I invited his friends to come smoke with us, so we didn't have to be weird with just them. And they were like, no, we're all set. We're fine. And he was like, oh, they have girlfriends. And we were like, okay. So once we got back, we were just like, I guess we're just going to do this and go straight to the show and just try to enjoy ourselves. Like, we might leave. I was like, do you want to leave? Like, this is your thing. Like, how do you want to deal with this? And she wanted to just get to the show. I think we were both shocked at this point. And so we got back. We ate our dinner. We got to know each other more for whatever reason. Ex also really liked that I was Jewish.
Weird.
You'd be shocked how much that happens. The older I've gotten, it's gotten weird. And so we kept chatting for a little bit. And at one point, he like walked. We were again sitting like the way that you and I are. My friend and I were sitting like that. And he walked around like the back of us here, and he like stuck his head between the two of us, put his arm around each of us. And he said, so do you guys want to go watch a movie in my room?
Okay.
We both said yes. Just kidding. No, we both immediately, wow. Without a thought of a doubt, nothing, instantly, no, what the are you? It was more about like, flatter yourself. Like, you're an ugly piece of like, that's how we went in on him. Like, we'd each other, but we wouldn't each other with you. Maybe some, like, that kind of a thing. We were done. Oh, and we had also found out his name was not X. It was Y. So now we're talking to Y.
Oh.
He had used X because it was his grandfather's name. And his grandfather went through the Holocaust. So he was this big hero to this guy. So now, instead of using Y, his real name, he used X. But he wanted us to call him Y. So now he's already literally not the person that he told us he was. And he's asking us he was asking us to have a threesome.
Yes. That
was it, blatantly. We both said no, as I said, and screamed at him about how stupid he was.
Yeah.
And so it's getting late. It's like 8:30 or 9, and we're like trying to get to the show. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. My friend really wanted to get to this bar she frequented when she went to school in Boston. Okay. So he came with us to this bar. Mm-hmm. And I was stoked. I was just going to having like a soda or water or something. Yeah. And so when we got there, we sat at the bar. Mm-hmm. And we sat the 3 spots at the very end. So here's a change of body language. It was him, and then me, and then my friend. Oh. I sat down second. Okay.
Who sat down first?
I think my friend did. Okay. And I was like, I'm protecting you. Yeah. Wow. Or I'm like, she was fuming at that point, so it was more like I'm protecting him, but not really at all. I wasn't trying to protect him. I just was trying. I don't remember, honestly. He might have sat down first. Okay. At the third one, and then we filled it in. It doesn't matter. We all sat down next to one another, and they proceeded to start arguing over the Holocaust.
Oh my gosh.
Over my face, like across me, like this. And because he had thoughts about some things in the Holocaust, and she wasn't Jewish, so her thing wasn't valid. But she was this. You can't think about people that way. I was in shock and awe. Wow. And a little bit impressed with where I'd brought myself adventure-wise. It was the year of trying new things, so I did. But the darndest thing that happened, she got up to go to the bathroom again.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Immediately, we understand where this might be going.
Yeah.
And he's sitting next to me, and he's drunk, and he gets really close to my face again, and again asks me to tell him or to give him a reason to go to this venue we had been talking about earlier that night in Providence. Oh. And tried to kiss me again. And I was just like, I'm done. Yeah. You shouldn't even be hanging out with us right now. That we're just enjoying ourselves, but just leave me alone. Just go away. So she came out of the bathroom. Mm-hmm. I was like, what did you think would happen? Yep, it happened. So she lost her shit. We went back to her car. He tried to chill and smoke with us. We told him to fuck off. We left. booked it out of Jamaica Plain and came back to Providence. But the story doesn't end there, my friends.
What?
Y texted me and thanked me for a great night, brought up that opinion I had in the conversation that I mentioned earlier, and said something about like a Jewish girl who loves whatever, I'd love to see you again. And I... like
what?
Yeah, what? Like how was this misinterpreted in any way? So I texted my friend and I was like, have you heard from Y? Like, did he say something to you at all today? Like, she was like, no, I didn't think I would. Da, 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 da. And I was like, oh, well, here's my finger. Well, he texted me.
The audacity of this guy.
So, yeah, I ended up messaging him back. But what I said was something along the lines of, thanks for reaching out. But did you say anything to my friend so-and-so? It was really rude of you for treating her that way last night and doing what you did to me. It was really disgusting. And neither of us want anything to do with you. And please kindly off and lose our numbers.
Yeah.
So we never heard from him again.
Okay. Well, I'm glad.
But Y is out there creeping still. I know it. And he came up like a month ago as a suggested friend on Facebook, and I was shocked. Shocked! We're both pretty lucky that we didn't die that night. Maybe not die, but like get in a fight.
Yeah.
Like lucky that this guy was like more... Whoops.
Yeah.
His bark was bigger than his bite. Anyway, questions, answers, Q&A session.
Oh, I have some questions.
Okay, I'll take it.
I got some questions.
Yep. Hold on.
One.
All right.
Did you guys ever go to the show?
No. Oh, thank you for mentioning that. There was no show.
There was no show.
We never went to the show, and there was never any intention of getting to the show.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's one.
Yep.
Two, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's just more of a statement.
True.
Three, what in his right mind would make him think he was going to have a threesome?
That is the question on everyone's dying to know the answer to. An ego. I mean, he was a musician, so can we say that he doesn't love to hear his own work? He was drunk. I mean, that was the thing, is he was wasted. Well, he wasn't wasted, but he was drunk and he was stoned and ballsy, of all things.
Clearly.
And I think because he got the two of us there to begin with, it gave him confidence about the whole situation. And there was a point where, like, he was trying to feed us and push the liquor on us that, like, I made this, like, kind of face with him that I was like, what are you doing? Like, shut up and just stop.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. I don't know. Can someone tell us why people do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, never saw him again or heard from him.
Well, I'm glad. That was one adventure.
That's why we carry knives, friends.
Yeah. Yeah, carry knives.
Since I was like 15.
All right. Well, that is this segment about Tinder.
So that wraps up our Tinder stories for tonight. But don't worry, it won't be the only ones. We will have plenty of insane and fun stuff to share.
Of course.
Personally between the two of us, and hopefully from some of you, if you want to send them to us at
mouthwordspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is mouthwordspodcast@gmail.com. You can just send those right over.
All right. I don't like more. You can send them to that and we'll get it. Or Instagram us at
mouthwordspod.
That's the one. Again, killing it.
Yeah, thanks.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, yes, tell us your stories, your event. Tell us all the things that you need someone to know about your Tinder experiences or inexperiences. Huh?
We're here.
question, you know, yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
We'll give you advice
Trinder.
too. If you have any
We'll give
questions.
you the best advice we got.
Yeah. It'll be something.
It's better than nothing, and it's cheaper than a therapist.
Boom.
So send those bad boys in. Read them next episode.
Yeah. We'll be checking the inboxes. Also, keep sharing, liking, following, doing all that stuff.
Well, I noticed there, Austin, you're wearing something especially green, and those who can't read.
Those who can't read and who are listening, I'm feeling wicked smart today.
It's a green. Is that a crew neck sweatshirt or shirt?
This is a long sleeve t-shirt.
Okay, long sleeve t-shirt. It's dark hunter or forest green, I'd say. And it says wicked smart, you know, in the way that the people of Massachusetts do.
Yes, and there's a reason I'm wearing this.
Why is that?
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, boy.
Whoever is listening to this and watching, happy St. Patrick's Day if you're Irish. If you're not,
Go yourself.
go yourself.
No,
No.
You just taught me
Yes,
that St. Patrick himself was not Irish.
he was not.
What gives?
Let me tell you. So he was. I'll tell you what gives. He was an English man who, at the age of 16, got kidnapped by the English, and he was a slave. And then eventually, he broke out and went to Ireland and spread the word of Christianity. And that's it. And for some reason, we celebrate him. Yep.
So, say that last part one more time. He's great. He did a what now?
So
He gone and spread a what now in a hair?
he spread Christianity all across Ireland. Why, I have no idea.
He must have liked it while he was in England when he was kidnapped or
When he
something.
was a slave.
Okay,
Kidnapped,
enslaved
enslaved, yes.
in England.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he was like Stockholm syndrome / like this is working for me, like kind of like what's that show that used to be on HBO with Claire Danes, Homeland. Anyway.
Okay, shout out Homeland.
Yeah, I've only watched up to like season 2, so don't. Anyway, so he brought it back, and he was like, "Hey guys, this is something new and great. Spread the good word." And so we use this day to celebrate that.
For some reason, we celebrate this man spreading Christianity across Ireland.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what else do white people
By
do?
getting drunk and doing parades. And eating green, drinking green, looking at green, hanging out with green, just doing green. If you're going to do anything, do green. St. Patrick's Day.
Smoke green.
Smoke green. Also, it has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day. And I guarantee you a lot of people drinking today on St. Patrick's Day couldn't even tell you a single thing about St. Patrick's Day.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
They're just there to get wasted.
Yeah.
I used to live in Savannah, Georgia for like 7 years. Collectively, 7 years.
Yeah.
And that was like the second biggest St. Patty's Day celebration in the country. I think Boston's first.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah maybe like second or third. Anyway, like millions of people would go every year. My apartment was always on the route of the parade. So we'd always get like woken up by bagpipes, which is nice for like an hour until you want to go back to sleep at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
But during a St. Patty's Day parade was the first time I ever saw Bo Howell.
Oh my.
Because we were on my balcony. My apartment balcony faced the street that the parade route was. And so we were all out there, and the fire trucks came down, and the sirens were going off. And he made his lips an O. Bo is an old black puck. He was an old then, but he's old now. So just imagine this mushy little pug boy. And he just goes, "Arr!" It was just the best moment of my life. And that's what I think of when I think of St. Patty's. Mm-hmm. Thank you again for listening to episode number 3. Signing out.
Signing out.